Hi everybody, this is Astro from Astro IELTS Instructor YouTube channel, and today we're gonna learn 17 excellent conjunctions and connectors. And I promise this video will be super beneficial to your English learning as long as you watch the video till the end of it, and just let me know which conjunction or connector has become your favorite one to use during your speech, and just leave a comment about it. And if you want, you can make a sentence just using the one that you like so much. Okay, let me get started now. So the first one is because. And first of all, let me pronounce the word once more. Because. That's not because, that's not because, that's because. And because means in our language, in our Uzbek language, means chunky. But if we look at its formula, I mean the way it should be used, because plus subject plus verb. But I see most students, most learners get the word wrong and they just use after because and then noun itself. That's a big mistake, guys, and I don't want you to make such a silly mistake, okay? That's why you should be so careful with its formula. So well, now just pay attention the way it's used, and after because you should give a reason of an action. For example, Alisher failed the test because he had not prepared for it well enough. Or I'm not supposed to go to work today because I went to work yesterday, which means I work on alternative days. And I'm gonna be super beneficial to you guys today by giving you a number of synonyms of the connectors that I'm teaching. Well, since, as, for the reason that can be synonyms of because, which means instead of because you can use since, as, or for the reason that. For example, for the reason that I worked yesterday, I'm not supposed to go to work today. Or Alisher failed the task since he had not prepared for it well enough. Or let's say, as Alisher had not prepared for it well enough, he failed the test. See, they can be synonyms. Like you can use since, as, or for the reason that instead of because. That good. That's really good. So let's keep going on, guys. The next one is very close to the first, is because of. And now that means in our language نمادر تفاعلي نمادر sababtan, and its formula is after because of you're supposed to use noun. See, you're not supposed to use subject and verb, but you're supposed to use only noun itself. That would be grammatical, that would be awesome, guys. So now let's pay attention to the way it's used. After because of, again, you have to point out the reason why you have done something or had done something. So now let's pay attention to the examples given here. Because of bad weather, the train was delayed. See, because of bad weather, and the bad weather was the reason why the train was delayed. Okay, or he was fired because of his serious mistake, which means the serious mistake that he made was the reason. So she entered university because of her conscientiousness, which means hard work. So because of, see guys, that sounds so good. But anyway, that's wise to learn its synonyms, because during the IELTS writing task or speaking task, you should come up with different synonyms of the same word. For example, for the word because of, I would, guys, encourage you to learn and to use the words like due to, owing to, on account of. By the way, on account of is my favorite one. On account of, as a result of, or by virtue of. And by virtue of sounds a little bit like literate, like comes from literature. Okay, and by right of or by dint of. Yeah, they are all the synonyms of because of. And just get accustomed to using them instead of because of. That's what I'm gonna tell you guys. That's what I'm gonna drive you at. So now let me use on account of instead of because of for the sentence. Okay, on account of his silly grammatical mistakes, he got a low band score. See, on account of, which means because of, or due to his silly grammatical mistakes, or let's say by virtue of his grammatical mistakes. See, guys? And by the way, that's not by virtue or by virtue, that's by virtue of. That's by virtue of. See, by virtue of his silly grammatical mistakes, he got a low band score. See, guys? Sounds awesome, sounds lit. If we want to sound like informal. Okay, sounds lit. So let's keep going on, guys. The next one is but. You might be saying, oh my god, but is a very simple connector and I know that one, and why is he teaching that simple things? Okay guys, just watch the video and just pay attention that thing right here. We have got two bots. Okay, the first bot is what you know, and second bot is what you might not know. So that's why just let me explain that both of them. So bot means in our language lekin, and I believe everybody knows that one. Okay, and its formula is first if you start your sentence or statement let's say with the mood of positiveness, and after that you have to express some negative thoughts about something or about the action that's in question, which means that's being discussed. Okay, or by contrast, you may start talking about some negative things and you use but, and after but, you have to come up with some positive things. Okay, now, for example, she's beautiful. See, that's a positive compliment on girls. She's beautiful, but stupid. Oh my god, that's true. So, she's beautiful, but stupid. Where he's been learning English for a couple of years. See, that's a get. Like that's a let's say great thing that he has been learning English for a couple of years, but anyway he does not know what present simple is. Wow, looks awful, right guys? Looks awful. Okay, so and the next one is I want to buy a new car, but I don't know what car I should buy. See guys, I really want to buy, but I don't know, which means that's the second part is what it sounds negative. Okay, and instead of but, I would encourage you guys to learn the words however. See, that's not however. That's however or nonetheless. That's not nonetheless. That's nonetheless and nevertheless. Or, on the other hand, by contrast, in contrast, or yet, or though. All of them are so great synonyms of but. But, that would be wiser if you study the ways that, however, nonetheless, nevertheless, or on the other hand, by contrast, in contrast, and yet, and though are used. Just that's always wiser to study the ways, okay? They can be positive, like they can be great synonyms of the word but anyway you have to learn its grammatical structures. For example, in particular yet and though can be a little bit different to the way if we compare with the structure of but or however or on the other hand. So it's always wise to study the way. Okay, let's keep going on, and now let's move on to the next but, and the next but is in our language that's gonna be nimadandir tashqari. Nimadandir tashqari, which means apart from something. Apart from something, which means we are excluding something out and we are counting the other parts. For example, now first let's pay attention to its formula, and after but you have to use just noun itself. See, you're not supposed to use subject, verb, or blah blah things. Just use the noun itself. And for example, everyone came but you. See guys, everyone came, which means let's imagine the situation that 10 people were invited to a party, but only Jasur, let's say only you, were did not come to the party, and we're making a sentence describing the situation. We said everyone came but you, which means you didn't come, everyone else came. And now the next sentence is guys, I've learned every single rule in this book but the last one. See, which means apart from the last one, I've learned everything about like every single rule in this book. Okay, or I would like to travel any country but cold ones. Which means I don't like cold countries, like let's say northern parts of the world. I don't like visiting there because I cannot stand the cold weather. Okay, so and here, right here, that means dantaskade, which means apart from, aside from, or except for, or excluding, with the exception of, or accepting. See, guys, there are so great synonyms, but I would advise you guys to use apart from or aside from only as a synonym of but in this case. Okay, that sounds grammatically okay. So aside from news, I hardly watch any television. See, aside from news, which means I only watch TV for the purpose of watching news, or let's say getting to know about the latest news. So guys, that's the second but. And now let's move on to the next one. We've got, so the next one is so, and I believe everyone knows this, and I'm not gonna come up with any like unusual things or like very super duper things right here for the word so, but I guess synonyms will be so beneficial for you guys to sound a little bit professional. Okay, we'll come to the point later. So let me first start from the translation of it. So means in our language 주ning uchun, and its formula is first of all you have to point out some reason, and after that you say so, and after so you are supposed to come up with a result, which means see my knees started hurting so I stopped running. See, my knees started hurting, that's the reason, and you pronouncing like you using the word so, I stopped running. That's the result. See, the reason why I stopped running is that my knees started hurting. So I was lost, so I bought a street map. See, the same case again. So they came too late, so they were fired. Or she was ill, so I sent her some flowers to cheer her up. Oh, what a gentleman. So I was feeling a bit off color, so I took an aspirin. See, guys, the same case, the same formula. So you have to just study the way every single grammatical word, or let's say grammatical structure, is used, so that you can feel confident about its used, about the way you can use. So just study. Okay, so the synonyms of that, we're coming to the important point of this slide. So I would use, instead of so, well, these words: therefore, hence, thus, consequently, as a result, and as a consequence. See, guys, well, usually I use therefore and thus, and as a consequence, let's say normally or frequently. Well, now let's make a sentence using as a consequence. So she squandered all her time instead of studying, and as a consequence, she failed. Well, she squandered, which means that's a very nice synonym to the word waste. She wasted all her time. Well, instead of waste, you can use squander to sound a little bit professional. So she squandered all her time instead of studying, and as a consequence, well, for the reason that she did not study at all, well, as a consequence, she failed. Well, only fair. So let's keep going on, guys. The next word is, we've got a next word right here. Well, there is some like problem right here controlling this line. So guys, let's continue with the word while. So And as you can see, I have numbered the while too. Well, we're gonna learn the first while right here, or while number one. So, and its translation in our language will be like "Mobile verwachting usedem," and its formula will be like while plus subject plus verb, comma, and subject plus verb, which means we've got two sentence. One is dependent, the other one is independent. Okay, of course, the while, the part of while is the dependent, let's say, clause. So, while I was in Canada, I saw Alicia, who is an old friend of mine. Or while you were having bath, she called you twice. Or you were chatting to your friends on the phone while the teacher was explaining very important points. See, which means while is during the time that, or at the same time as. Well, and you can use instead of while these words too, like during the while that, or at the same time as. But anyway, while is a better option, okay? So during the time that I was in Canada, I saw Alicia, who is an old friend of mine. Or instead of just during the time that, instead of so long like parts of the sentence, just use while itself for this part, okay? But we've been learning some synonyms, and I've encouraged you guys to use synonyms instead of the words like but and the, let's say, the word so bad. Anyway, for this word, for this like let's say connector, while I've not encouraged you guys to use its synonyms like during the time that or at the same time as, because you can accept these words as a definition of while, okay? And while number one, let's say. So, and now let's continue, guys, with the next one. And the second while is, we've got a second while right here. Let's continue, guys, with the while number two, and now let's pay attention to its translation. Well, the translation, which means in our Uzbek language, that's gonna be garche or gakaramasdan. And its formula is while plus subject plus verb, and the same case you can witness, guys. And the way it's used is a little bit different, which means it's close to the word but or however, but a little bit different to the one. Okay, so let's pay attention to the way it's used. So first of all, you should come up with some positive thoughts, or let's say comments or statements for in short. So then after that, you are supposed to use while and then negative one. Well, and now let's get started. So reading the examples given here to get a complete picture about the use of the while number two. So while your work has improved greatly, there are still some areas that concern me. See, guys, which means while it's okay, but it's not okay. See, kind of that sounds like that, and you can just get a new word right here. That concern me. That concern me means like I'm not quite confident about that, or I guess you have yet to develop that part well enough. So just it's better to learn new words or phrases while you're learning a grammar. Okay, so let's continue. While I would like to accept your offer, I'm unable to at the present time, which means I really want to accept your offer, but anyway, anyhow, I cannot do so. So, or while I admire your courage, it's sometimes better not to get involved. See, that's like, while that's good, but it's not good. Like, while I would be, let's say, willing to help you on this occasion, I may not always be able to in future. Okay, or while I'm reluctant, see, that's another very good word, like very good adjective, which means I'm not willing to do so, which means I don't want to do so. So while I'm reluctant to make a fuss, I feel I really must complain. So that's really good. So now it's the important time, guys. Please pay attention to the synonyms. While, whilst, whereas, also, even though, despite the fact that. See, guys, we've got so many beautiful adjectives. Well, less or more, they can be synonyms of the while, and it's always good. Again, I have to admit that, I have to repeat that. Guys, just learn the way that its synonyms are used and should be used. Okay, whereas I'm reluctant to make a fuss, I feel I really must complain. Guys, that sounds so cool, so awesome. So let's keep going on now. The next one is however. See, I've two numbered this connector because we've got two ways of using the word however. And in our language, that's gonna be brok or amma. That sounds a little bit more serious if we compare them to the word leken. Yes, and brok, amma. And its formula is a little bit extraordinary. That's unusual one. So see, if you want to start your new sentence with the word however, you have to put comma after, just straight after it. Or if you want to use the word however in the middle of a sentence, you have to first put a comma and you write however, and after that you have to put another comma, which means we have two commas for the word however when it's used in the middle of a sentence. Or if it's used at the end of a sentence, just you have to put first comma and however and then period, like full stop. So the way it's used is, I guess you can understand the way it's used because it's close to the word however, and the way however is used should be similar to the word however, like but. Okay, so she was highly creative and talented. Success, however, remained elusive for her. Where the garden is beginning to look more respectable, there is lots more work to be done. However, see guys, we've got two sentences right here, and the first sentence is showing us that showing us the way however should be used. See, first after success we are using comma, and after however using the second comma, which means in the middle of a sentence you have to use two commas for one however. If you want to end your sentence with the word however, okay, you're welcome. Just first uh, put comma and however and then period. So let's continue. However, the team could still get through to the quarterfinal round if they play their best from now on. See guys, if we use however in the beginning, so you have to just put comma after however. So I'm afraid Tim cannot join our cup group until he's 8. However, we'll put his name on the waiting list. So guys, I want you to use not only however, but also with its synonyms. They are nevertheless, nonetheless. So they are like super duper synonym to each other. Like there is nothing different. There is nothing like problematic for you guys. Just do it. Okay, but if we move on the next, however, we can see that they are not synonyms of however. I mean, nevertheless and nonetheless cannot be synonyms of however in the second case, because right here, however, does not mean bra or does not mean but. It's gonna be a little bit different. So in our language, that's gonna be like kanchalik namadar bulmasan qilmasin, qanchalik harakat qilmasin, qanchalik ko'p puli bo'lmasin, qanchalik talantli bo'lmasin. You can see guys that however means if even if you have like millions of dollars, or let's say if you are even if you are a superman, you cannot do something. That means however number two. Okay, and its formula is however plus you can use adjective or adverb or much plus uncountable noun or many plus countable noun. And by the way, there are no commas right here. Well, when we are learning the however number one, we saw that comma or period comma period. So Anyway, right here you don't have any commas. See guys, after however, you don't have to use commas because as I said above, that's gonna be a little bit different now. So the way it's used is however plus the things that we have mentioned above, like adjective, adverb, much, many, and subject plus verb, comma, and subject plus verb, which means we've got two parts of one sentence. One is dependent, the second is independent clause. So, however hungry I am, which means even if I like feel starving, I never seem to be able to finish off a whole pizza. See, guys, which means I cannot eat a whole pizza. So if Emma likes something, she will buy it, however much it costs, guys. See, however much it costs. We're just omitting money right here because much all the time. Firstly, imply the word money or then time, and after that we have to identify the word when we want to use much. Okay, guys, let's keep going on. So you have to sit the examinations, let's say, however much you don't feel like doing them. See, guys, you have to sit the examinations, however much you don't feel like doing them. Sounds so awesome, guys. Just we have to learn, we have to love the English language. Come on. That's gonna be so awesome. So, however much I respect him, I cannot agree with him on this occasion. See, I respect him. I respect him super duper. But on this occasion, he sounds stupid. Or I cannot agree with him anymore. Come on, no, that would be wrong. So, guys, as you have witnessed, that's not as we have been using like a but. That's a little bit different. That's like even if or something like that. So you cannot use nevertheless or nonetheless as synonyms of however in this case. Okay, because there is a reason behind this, and I'm gonna explain that. Okay, and if you have learned, guys, your elementary level properly, you must have been taught the way how is used. See, not however, but how itself is used. After how we can use adjective, adverb, much, many, as we have seen above, and that's gonna be a little bit different. Not how itself, but how often or how old, or let's say how fast, how expensive, let's say, or how delicious. These kind of words we should have been learned so far, guys. Or if you don't know them, just go and open the books and you can just have a glance at them to get a complete picture about the way how it's used. So, and now let's pay attention to the word, however, itself in this case was its synonyms. That's the most important point. So, however, can be equal to no matter how or regardless of. And now, just let me make a sentence for you guys. Well, no matter how hungry I am, see, no matter how hungry I am, I never seem to be able to finish off a whole pizza. Or let's say, regardless of how much you don't feel like doing the examinations, you have to sit the examinations or you have to sit them. Or regardless of how much I respect you or him, I cannot agree with him on this occasion. See, guys, after regardless of, you have to use some like how or whom, which, that kind of words. Okay, I feel you have captured everything on this slide. Okay, if you cannot understand anything or if you cannot catch up the level of my speed, that's a video, guys, which means you've got a chance to just pause the video or repeat till you feel confident about what I've been telling you, guys. So that's super cool. Okay, guys, let's keep going on. The next one is we've got right here. Well, the second one is. So, guys, let's move on with the another beautiful connector, which is provided that, and provided that is of intermediate level. And if you're not an intermediate level student, guys, you might find it a little bit difficult. Anyway, There is nothing impossible for a willing heart, guys. If you just concentrate it, if you just pay attention, if you just concentrate your mind on what I've been telling you or what I'm gonna tell you, you can learn, guys. You're gonna make it, okay? Just stay focused. So let's keep going on with its translation. Well, in our language, that's gonna be fakat gina or fakat agar, or that sounds a little bit stronger of if, okay, agar. So its formula is provided that, see guys, after provided that, you're not allowed to use future words like modal verbs of will and shall. You have to use present simple even if you want to imply some action in the future, let's say, okay? So anyway, you're not supposed, but you're not allowed to use any will or shall, okay, in the part of provided that, which means in the dependent part of provided that. So guys, now let's read some examples to understand in detail. So he is welcome to come along, provided that he behaves himself. See, there is a condition, and the condition is that he should behave himself, okay? And we will be there at about 7:30, provided that there is a suitable train, which means there is a condition. If we can find a suitable train that leaves, let's say at 6 or at 6:30, then we will be able to reach the destination at about 7:30. And the next sentence is, provided that there are enough seats, anyone can come on the trip. See, guys, there is a condition. There is a condition that only if there are enough seats, anyone can come on the trip. So provided that a boat leaves on time, we should reach France by morning. Or I can come provided that I can leave by 4. Or bring your friends by all means, just provided that you know how many are coming. Just I know how many are coming. So provided that, now guys, let's pay attention to its synonyms, let's say grammatical synonyms. So provided that can be equal to providing that, or as long as, or so long as, or on condition that, or only if. Guys, as I've been telling you time and time again, guys, just pay attention and study the way that their grammatical synonyms or just synonyms are used. It's always wise to do so, okay? Just study and study. Okay, I'll come to the party on the condition that you don't wear those ridiculous trousers. So, I hope you have got a complete picture, guys. By the way, it's up to you to use the on the condition that. See, guys, it's up to you. You can omit that the, or if you want, just put that the before condition. It's up to you. That's grammatically okay. So now let's continue with the next one, which is unless. And unless in our language sounds like agar namadar qilmasa, agar kimdir bilmasa, agar kimdir so'ramasa, bermasa, like that, okay? And its formula is unless plus subject plus, see, I am omitting not, like don't, or didn't, or won't, shan't, may not, this kind of thing, see, which means we cannot use not, because unless itself includes that not. You cannot use once more not in the dependent clause of unless, okay? Just unless subject plus verb itself. And now let's make some examples to understand, okay? So, by the way, which means subject plus verb does not mean, guys, you can just use verb itself. Just pay attention to the verb agreement, okay? So you can get a job unless you've got experience. See, guys, you cannot get a job unless you have got experience, or unless you've got enough experience. which means we're not using unless you haven't got enough experience, guys. We're not making a sentence in this way because, as I said above, unless itself includes that not. So the next sentence, unless you call me to say you're not coming, I'll see you at the theater. Or most wild animals won't attack unless they are provoked. Or I can't let you in unless you give the password. See guys, that sounds like um that sounds like an actor's sentence. Oh, okay. Anyway, so let's continue. Students are not allowed to handle these chemicals. See, they cannot handle these chemicals unless they are under the supervision of a teacher. Which means if they are not under the supervision of a teacher, they're not allowed to handle these chemicals. And as you can guess, guys, unless is equal to if not. And if you want to use if not, just go ahead, use, but it's always better to use unless instead of if not. I hope you have captured everything on this slide. And now let's move on to the next beautiful one, which is in case. And in case is something that most learners fail to use correctly and grammatically because it sounds a little bit confusing. If you listen to me carefully, you're gonna understand and, let's say, grasp the notion behind this difficult grammar piece. Okay, so its translation in our language is her ihtimalga karşı, and its formula is in case subject plus verb itself. See, again we're omitting will and shall. Uh, because in case does not mean that something will happen for sure. 100% nobody can guarantee that some action will be done or will be held. So in case is just a case, which means that's gonna happen or that's not gonna happen, so we're not sure. And if we are not sure that some action will happen or will not happen, so we cannot use will or shall, which means will and shall mean some action will be held or will happen for 100% sure. That means we will be making a mistake, or we would be making a mistake if we made a sentence like in case subject will and shall plus verb. So pay attention to that point. And now let me first read out the examples, and after that we're gonna discuss that. Shall I keep some chicken salad for your brother in case he's hungry when he gets here? See guys, and in case I forget later, here are the keys to the garage. Or let's take our swimming costumes in case there is a pool at the hotel. I don't think I'll need any money, but I'll bring some just in case. Bring a map in case you get lost. So just guys, pay attention to this sentence. And okay, I'm gonna facilitate the way that you should learn. Okay, guys, let's imagine a situation that there is a friend of ours who is coming, who is visiting us soon. And if I'm not, like, let's say one person is saying, if I'm not mistaken, 10 minutes ago, let's say my friend Murat called me and told me that he was coming most probably, but he was not sure, but he was planning to come. So, and I have bought some food in case he will come. See guys, in case he comes, uh, in case he comes, I have bought some more food. So which means I'm not sure he will come or not, but anyway I am ready for the situation. So and we've got another formula right here in terms of in case. That's in case of, and in case of differs from in case by coming a noun after, just try it after it, like in case of plus noun. In case of fire, please call this number. Okay, the next one is in order to, and in order to means uchun or maqsadida in our language. and the way it should be used is in order for somebody or something plus to plus verb, like, and we're gonna understand them by studying the examples. Okay, he came home early in order to see the children before they went. See, that's really close to the word to itself. See, I came to see them, and I came in order to see him. But there is a difference between these two, and we're gonna get that. So I agreed to her suggestion in order not to upset her. See, guys, there is a little bit different formula in order not to upset him. And I always keep fruit in the fridge in order to keep insects off it. See, guys, in order to keep insects off it. Okay, that's close to the word to itself. So now I came here in order to explain everything in detail. And let me make another sentence for you guys to understand that in detail. So, um, let's say I have bought a new car in order for my father to drive to work instead of walking to work. See, guys, for my father to do something, and in order to can be substituted with so as to or with the aim of. I like the first one, so as to, and I also advise you guys to use that one quite like often. And if you use both of them, like in order to and so as to, and after that you can use with the aim of. Okay, anyway, just make a sentence with the aim of because that sounds a little bit seldom. Well, I always keep fruit in the fridge with the aim of keeping insects off it. See, guys, that sounds cool, that sounds okay, but anyway, just learn first of all those words that a native speakers use most commonly, like most frequently. And but the reason why I'm saying to you guys not to use the aim of more than so as to, the native speakers do not use with the aim of more than they use so as to. So I think you have understood what I'm talking about. So now let's continue, guys, with the next one. That is lest. See, guys, that's not lost. That's not less. That's lest. And lest means masligi uchun. Yani kimdir nimadir ish qilmasligi uchun, yiqilmasligi uchun, aldanmasligi uchun, yo'qolib qolmasligi uchun, xalaqit qilmasligi uchun. See? Masligi uchun. And its formula is really extraordinary, guys. That is the one which I accept, which I consider the most difficult and confusing one. So, guys, just pay attention to it very carefully, okay? After last, see, there is subject, and subject the person who does the action, okay? Subject, and after that, you should have should, or you have the chance to omit the should. But anyway, don't forget there is a should right here, which means even if we use, let's say, he, lest he should go, well, for example, if we omit that should, see, lest she go, not goes. See, that sounds wrong in terms of verb agreement, but in a way, there is a should, even if you omit it. Okay, that sounds so confusing. Now let's read the examples. So, they are afraid to complain about a noise, lest their neighbor, see, their neighbor is equal to he or she. And after he or she, you should use gets according to the rules of verb agreement. But see, even if you omit should, you cannot use gets. You have to use get because you have to bear in mind that there is a big should right here. Okay, and the next sentence is Gramps is too frightened to move lest he disturb the infant. See, he disturbs. That would be wrong. Lest he disturb the infant. And I'll draw a map for her lest she get lost. See guys, last she get lost. Sounds wrong, right? Last she gets lost. You might be saying, oh come on, it's a mistake. And from the lesson, like from the first lesson of mine, I was taught that according to the verb agreement, after he she eats, we have to use verb plus as or es at the end of the verb. But as for less, that's not gonna work. Okay, that's not gonna work because we have to keep that should in mind. Okay, after just straight after subject, we've got should, even if we omit it. So lest he failed the test. See guys, lest he failed the test, not lest he fails the test. Okay, guys. I kind of sound like the one who splits the hair. That's why. Let's leave the rest of the sentence for you just to read and understand. Okay, and let me just read the last one. Plan what you would like to do lest you squander your time. That sounds wise enough. Okay, plan first of all what you would like to do lest you squander your time. Vaqtingizni bekor ketkazmasligingiz uchun nima qilmoqchiligingizni, ya'ni qilmoqchi bo'lgan ishingizni planlashtirib oling. That sounds cool. Okay, now let's continue, guys. The next one is not only but also. Not only but also in our language can sound like nafaqat blah blah, shu bilan birgalikda blah blah ham. And blah blah sounds a little bit let's say confusing, but I'm gonna make that clear. Okay, just listen to me and watch the video. So its formula is right here. Well, we've got two formulas, and the first is what people use all the time, and the second one is hardly ever used, guys. That's why the second one might be a little bit tricky or challenging for you guys. So anyway, I'm gonna explain them in detail and lucidly. Just watch the video carefully, okay? Then, well, the first formula is subject plus not only noun, adjective, verb, and but also noun, adjective, verb, which means if you start after not only, if you start a noun, just but after but also you have to use noun. Or if you start adjective, just continue with an adjective, with the second adjective. I'm gonna make it clear, guys. The word goes not only. See, guys, I'm gonna use destruction, which is a noun, destruction and death, but also generations of hatred. That's another noun. See, guys, and the car not only is economical, but also feels good to drive. See, guys, we've got two adjectives right here. Not only economical, but good to drive. This investigation is not only one that's continuing and worldwide, but also one that we accept to continue for quite some time. And again, we're using two nouns for each part of the sentence. Guys, that's not difficult. I'm sure everybody knows the first formula. And now let's move on the next tricky one. So not only, see guys, we can see right here after not only there is, do, did, have, or has, or emits, or like auxiliary verbs, what I call helping verbs. It doesn't matter. So not only do, did, and have after, then subject plus verb, but also subject plus verb. But there is no any question mark right here, guys. Why? Because if your sentence starts with not, no, or with the meanings of no and not, that part should be made in terms of inversion. And inversion looks right like that. Okay? Which means you should first put auxiliary verbs and subject and the main verb. But that's not a question. That's not a question, guys. So, and now let's read the examples. Not only, see guys, not only was it raining all day. See, it would be wrong if we made a sentence like, not only it was raining. No, that's not right, because we've got such rules. Not only was it raining all day at the wedding, but also the van was late. See, there is no question mark. It's not a question, guys. والسؤال إماس. Not only will they paint the outside of the house, but also the inside. Not only will they paint. See, guys, that would be wrong if we made, or if we said, not only they will paint the outside. See, that's not grammatical. Okay, or not only did she forget my birthday, but she also did not even apologize for forgetting it. See, not only did she. You cannot say not only she forgot. That would be wrong, guys. So I want you guys to be super careful with this formula. Okay, that sounds really easy. That looks let's say very straightforward, but actually it's not. It has got a number of tricky like situations like that. Okay, just be careful. And now let's move on to the next word, which I love very much. That's no sooner than. And no sooner than in our language gonna sound like bir ish harakatni bajarilganiga ko'p bo'lmasdan ikkinchi ish harakat bo'lgan. Which means you've got two actions right here, and one was done, and after that another action was done. Which means if we put them in order, then the very first sentence should be made in past perfect, and the second action should be done in past simple, because I believe, guys, you have learned what a past perfect is and what past simple is. If you haven't learned what past perfect is, I've got a video on my YouTube channel, and just go and watch it, and you can understand, grasp all the difficult and challenging points that you may have had so far. So, guys, now let's look at its formula. No sooner. See, guys, pay attention to its beginning. We've got no. We've got no. The sentence is beginning with the word no. And if it starts like that, then it means we have to use an inversion. An inversion in the sentence should be like no sooner had plus subject plus verb 3 or ed than subject verb 2 or ed. As I have mentioned, guys, above, that's the first past perfect, and the past perfect is built in terms of inversion, and the second part of the sentence is past simple. So we've got two actions, and past perfect is describing the action which was done very first, and past simple is describing an action that was done after the past perfect action. So now let's read some examples to grasp that notion. So no sooner had they started their walk than it started to rain, which means let's say they started walking at, let's say, 5 p.m. and it started raining at 5:20. Let's say 5:20, which means after 20 minutes it started raining. So, and we just combining these two sentences in one, but we right here sound a lot professional, guys. No sooner had they started their walk than it started to rain. Or no sooner had I arrived at the station than the train came. Which means, let's say I came first and the train arrived right after me. Which means, let's say, let's talk about a situation by explaining some time of the verb. Okay, let's say I came to the station at 3 p.m. and the train came, let's say, at 3:05. Let's say after 5 minutes, and we just combining these two sentences into one, sounding professional. So the next sentence is, no sooner had we heard the noise than we rushed to the spot. See, guys, no sooner had you finished one project, then she start working on the next. And now I guess this sentence have started sounding, let's say, lucid and explicit to you now. Okay, and now let's pay attention to its synonyms. Okay, no sooner blah blah than blah blah can be equal to hardly than. It means, let's say, hardly had I started walk, my walk, then it started to rain, or scarcely than and barely than. We've got so many synonyms, and they are super duper synonym to the word no sooner. Okay, and the structure is the same. First, you use past perfect in terms of its inversion formula, and after that, I mean, in the second part of the sentence, you're supposed to use past simple. So, and now, guys, let's read the examples. Let's hardly had I reached the station when the train came. See, guys, we've got hardly when, and it's important not to confuse these structures with one another. Like, if you learn no sooner, just learn it with than. If you learn hardly, learn it with when. Okay, like, do not start your sentence saying hardly had I reached the station instead of when. Do not just put then right here. Okay, hardly had I reached the station, then the train came. No, then that would be wrong. That would be a stupid mistake of yours. That's why be careful with what is used with what. Okay, and this structure is so close to the structure like as soon as or once. I love them so much. As soon as and once is, let's say, more commonly used in the English world if we compare them to structures of no sooner than or hardly than. Okay, that's why if you want to speak a little bit faster, if you don't want your brain to get stuck, just combining the structures, or let's say bringing the structures to your brain. So just to learn the easiest ways of expressing the same situation, okay, by learning as soon as or once. They are great. And anyway, I've been repeating the same thing time and time again, guys. It's always wise to learn the way that the structure is used, okay. So we've got the last one, which is the most confusing. That is, of course, from the books of advanced. Like, we've got a number of very popular books of like advanced level. So this structure is strive from it. So guys, only van, and only van means qachonki blah blah bo'lganda o'shandagina blah blah bo'ladi. And its formula is only then, see, plus subject plus verb, and in the second part of the sentence we've got an inversion. See, first auxiliary verb and subject and main verb. Why? Because we're gonna discover that. See, only when we agree what measures are needed will we be able to solve the problem. See, it's not like we will be, it's will we be. Which means auxiliary verb will is coming before the subject, but there is no any question mark because that's not a question. Right here, you know why the second part is being built in terms of inversion. The reason is we have the word only, and only comes with an inverted part, and that inverted part should be translated with the word only, which means only is affecting the second part, and then is affecting the first part. That's why you've got such a case. And let's read the next one. Only when the government realizes what a mistake it is making will things change. See, guys, that's not things will change. That's will things change. See, the second part is being built in terms of inversion rules. So be careful with that. And we've got synonyms only when, only after, and not until. They are not 100% Well, they cannot be 100% synonyms, but anyway, they can be close to one another. Okay, and now let me substitute that only one with not until. And not until this government realizes what a mistake it's making will things change. See, guys, they mean the same thing, so it's always better to learn them. It's always wise to learn the way these complex grammar pieces are used. If you want to feel confident about the way it's used, if you want to feel confident, then whenever you start speaking English and you have to describe a situation using these grammar pieces, that would be so useful, guys, for all. And I guess I have helped you all, and as I have mentioned above, guys, just choose the one that you liked so much and make a sentence and leave a comment below. I'm gonna check, I'm gonna see, and that would be so beneficial for both of us. And actually, that's always great to make at least 5 sentences for one structure as soon as you have grasped the formula, let's say grasp the structure. Well, just if you want to improve yourself, just pay attention to your learning. If you learn conscientiously, then you're gonna make it, and then you're gonna get a very satisfying band score when you take a sit in IELTS or TOEFL test examinations. So anyway, guys, they are so great and beneficial structures, connectors, conjunctions that I've been teaching. And guys, I wish you good luck. And if you have any questions about this or about the English itself, just write to me or leave a comment, and we can continue talking about anything that you have a problem with. Okay, guys, wish you good luck and see you in the next videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, that makes video contenters like that get motivation, like motivated. Let's say it's a great motivation. I was gonna say. So, guys, see you the next time. Bye.